we see like a lot of buildings being constructed, but when some of them are being constructed, it's like there's no plan for monetizing that asset long term. I was watching a video from Dr. Annette recently. Shout out to Dr. Annette. If you don't know Dr. Annette, go and check her out.
Yeah.
When it comes to business in Africa, she is the best. I have to tell you that. And she was talking about her personal house and that she leave a door, an extra door on her house, just in case that people can rent it out. So she's generating revenue from that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I mean. Like you leave it, like people are leaving money on the table.
Oh, I run off of this.
I was talking.
I'm here.
It's like this one want to run away from the set somehow.
How better?
It's so exciting.
It's Queen Jody and AP Uncensored.
Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. If you don't know who we are, my name is AP.
And I'm Queen Jody.
And we are a couple that take a crazy journey from Jamaica to the Gambia with just $500 US. And over the years, we have managed to create a mega real estate company here in Gambia, employing young Gambians, empowering them to change their lives.
That's right.
Studying the real estate industry, how to monetize it, how to make the most out of it. And that's what we've been doing over the past years in the Gambia. And today's episode is going to be fiery, so make sure you get your notebook so you can take notes because you're going to love this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
question is...
What is the question?
The big question is...
Uh-huh.
Are you leaving money on the table?
Wait, let me go and check this. No, seriously. People are leaving a lot of money on the table, and we're going to be discussing what we see.
Yeah.
Why we say that a lot of people from the diaspora especially are leaving money on the table when it comes to real estate in Gambia.
Yeah.
And, what are some of the ways that possibly one can do to collect that money off the table.
Yeah.
Because, I said it in our last podcast, that a lot of people believe that moving to Africa, you don't necessarily need to make money, which is false because you have to survive here. So,
and even if you already have some money, I'm sure most people who have money still want to keep making money, because if you're just spending it, you have it and you're just spending it, then where is the making in that? You get me? So
you're just using that. You're just bankrupting yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's get into the meat of the matter.
That's right.
So, when we moved here in the Gambia a few years ago, we've seen a lot of development starting to happen. Like people were trying to build, skyscrapers.
Yeah, kind of vibe.
Yeah. Like
I think two other places that I've seen thus far, it was the Aquaview, like the big apartment out there in Gambia. We saw it being constructed from the ground up, and it's just amazing how it just play out.
But those kind of structures are not as much in the Gambia, so we're going to be sharing a few stories based on our house tours, what we've seen, and why we're saying people are leaving money on the table when it comes to real estate. Is so for example, you go now and you buy a single family home, and you don't have a lot of money, and you borrow money from the bank in order to buy that place. And then it's you have to pay back the bank, but you only have one door to enter the house.
Yeah.
So monetizing that is kind of difficult.
When you say single family, how many bedrooms are you looking at?
Bungalow style, one entrance.
You're looking at how many bedrooms?
It doesn't matter. It's just one entrance to the house. So it kind of, most people want their privacy.
Well, in that sense, as a single family home, you would want to rent it just as.
Yeah, but the problem is the monetization aspect of it is
limited. Yeah. I understand, because it's just one person going to rent it.
Yeah.
And you'll have to wait. Probably you're rent 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
And
it's you can't really make nothing else from it. So we see a lot of buildings being constructed, but when some of them are being constructed, it's there's no plan for monetizing that asset long term. So like recently we went to this property somewhere around Kisering here in the Gambia. And from the photos, when we saw the photos, we're like, okay, this place is very nice, but where are the entrance? There's 3 floors, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, where are the entrance and how will people access it? So the property owner asked us to come and look at it.
Yeah,
so
we did.
we went there, go there, and when we got there, I was really blown away by the design of the house. To be quite honest,
a nice property. To be honest,
it was very nice.
Yeah,
me, I like the fact that he took in consideration the security of the property. I see barbed wire fence with electricity, electricity.
AP, as you talk about that, you know, on my property, I'm going to be making sure I have that, right?
Okay, that's not a problem.
Okay.
So he installed electricity, he put the caution sign there, you know, don't touch it, you'll be shocked. And the design of the house was very beautiful, to be quite honest with you. But when I got to the house, Jody was ahead of me because she was so excited, she ran inside. But when I got inside the house, or the premises, I realized that there was only one entrance to the first and second floor.
Right.
And I didn't realize that there was a staircase at the back for the up one, right?
Yeah, because it's 3 floors.
It's 3 floors.
Yeah.
And then what happened is downstairs is 2 bedroom?
Yeah, and the middle floor has 3.
And the top floor has 3.
Yeah.
So what happened is basically all of the rooms are basically accessible through that one entrance to the house, right? From the middle, first and second floor, and the 3rd floor is accessible at the back.
I would just call it that it's like 2 houses in one, basically.
Two
it's
or 3.
2 houses because one entrance to the 2 bedroom and 3 bedroom.
Yeah.
So that would be 5 bedroom house basically. And then upstairs would be a 3 bedroom house.
Yeah, so it's
like a 3 bedroom apartment and a 5 bedroom apartment. You would call it that for that matter.
But with that, it kind of make it more complicated to monetize, because when we were talking to the property owner, the property owner was even thinking about how he can monetize it. So he was thinking of renting it out like that. But the problem is, like, with the multiple rooms that are available and the design of the house that it have, it's really nice. There was a like kind of luxurious feel to it, contemporary luxurious mix somehow.
Yeah.
So it limits him as the property owner to generate revenue from the property, because he didn't design the building with the mind that, okay, he's not even going to live there. That's not his goal, to live there. His goal was just to build something.
Yeah.
No, he said he's not going to live there. So it's like the monetization aspect of that. It's not there anymore. Like on a max scale, it's limited.
The property can be monetized based on what I'm seeing, but not from the aspect of a apartment. You know, like when persons will like say, okay, I want a 1 bedroom to stay, and it have its own entrance and everything that a person can go in and be in their own space.
Yeah.
With the 5 bedroom, it would be a shared space, and so you would more consider like a guest house vibe.
Guest house.
Because it cannot be rented separate.
That's true.
You understand what I mean? Except for the top floor.
The top floor. But for me, that's what I saw when I look at the property, and it's not the only property that we
exactly. I was just gonna see that there are more properties that we've seen like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, to me, it's like you're leaving money on the table by not considering the long-term aspect of the property that you're designing.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest with you, if you're building a property in Gambia or any property at all, it's best you build it with the option of monetizing it. I was watching a video from Dr. Annette recently. Shout out to Dr. Annette. If you don't know Dr. Annette, go and check her out.
Yeah.
When it comes to business in Africa, she is the best. I have to tell you that. And she was talking about her personal house, and that she leave a door, an extra door on her house, just in case that people can rent it out. So she's generating revenue from that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I mean. Like people are leaving money on the table because they're building this massive house with just one entrance there, and there's no additional door, no additional entrance for someone to really come and rent it. Yeah. So you can see money.
All right. So in my take, because what I've seen thus far, as you mentioned, AP, that the monetization aspect of these properties. Starting from looking at the land at the beginning, like when you first buy the land, before you even think of building, you know, before you even buy the land, you need to know what you're gonna be doing with this property. You understand? Okay, yes, I want to buy a land. what do you want to do with it? Are you looking to build an apartment for rental or build housing for rental? Are you looking to build a business outlet where people can come and rent the space for commercial use? Or are you looking at creating a space that people just rent for events? You know, you have to think about, before you even think of buying a land.
That's true.
Yeah, because most of the time that's where most people go, buying a land. Because you can choose to buy a house that is already built, yes, but based on your goals, if that's what you want, fine. But if you want to do something that is different, then considering all of these things, you have to, before you even buy the land, you have to think about that.
That's true. I mean, you know, when it comes to like properties, which as we said, guys, we've been spending a lot of time, you know, studying it, looking at, you know, how people are monetizing it and where they're failing when it comes to monetizing it. And it's like, when it comes to property, it's like some people come into access to some money. Like they just get some money. Yeah. And the first thing that they want to do is they want to build something because they believe, they hear or they see other people's videos or stories of them building luxury, nice houses.
Mansion.
And they want to do it because when they have that kind of property inside the community, it's like, oh, this one make it. Yeah. Look at the house that he's building. Yeah. And then most people go and they, you know, maybe take out a loan to build the property, and then you have to even pay back that loan. Yeah. And then you even go as far as taking out the property without even understanding why you are taking out, why do you need a property like that, you know what I mean? And so the monetization aspect of it is not something that first jumped to your mind, because you have access to the money now, you just go spend it.
All right, let's put ourselves like in an avatar.
Avatar, like airbender type of I don't know.
No, not airbender, but like, so for example, right, we have Sarah, and Sarah is overseas, say in Europe, yeah, and
I mean, I think you're gonna use Lamin still, cause we Gambia.
But you do have Sarahs here.
Yeah, I never seen no Sarahs here.
Okay, if there's any Sarah out there, shout out to you. All right, so you want me to use another avatar?
No, it's fine.
Okay, fine. Okay, so Sarah is overseas, yeah, and Sarah looks down and she's a diasporan, and Sarah said, my country, I want to do something there. But she's seen everybody building. So to her, maybe building a property would be cool as well. And the fact that there were persons that she know that, okay, build something and they rent it out, and she don't know the struggles that those persons go through with renting their property to people, or having somebody manage it and overseeing the construction and all of that. So Sarah is there. Sarah is now going to be depending on her family out here. She's going to send the money that she borrow to the family out here to build the property. Now, I don't know if Sarah had a design in mind, but maybe the family say, hey, why don't you build this? And so the family influenced the thought, but she didn't take the time to sit down and say, you know, I want to make X amount of money. But this money that I'm going to make is to help me pay back the loan in part, and also help me set for retirement. So
basically what you're saying then is like, the reason why a lot of people are leaving money on the table is because they're not necessarily having a success, like a plan, like to say, okay, after this property is built, I'm going to be using it like this to make back money, based on the fact that you're even borrowing money from the bank, or you're borrowing money from a family member or something like that.
But they don't even, some of them don't even plan before they even purchase the property, really. You understand? Because if you had planned, okay, you want to buy a 20 by 40 land, for example. Yeah. And you know that at 2040 land, you can probably put a 6-bedroom apartment there. Yeah. Single bedroom apartments, right? Units, I should say, single bedroom units on the apartment for rent. Now, you know, okay, it's gonna cost me this to buy the land, this to build the apartment, and if I should borrow from the bank or get a loan somewhere else, then I'm going to have to pay back certain interest.
That's true.
And if you consider inflation and all of that, now when you sit down and you calculate, okay, if I'm going to furnish it, it's going to cost me this. If I'm not going to furnish it, it's likely to cost me this. And then you have to add like a 50% markup on that, because you anything can happen where the things that you thought cost this today can cost a next figure tomorrow.
Based on inflation and
based on inflation. Exactly.
That is
so
true.
Now, if Sarah sat down and planned that, then she will know, okay, in 10 years' time, because, with these investments, because it's an investment, you're buying a property to build an apartment so that you can rent it out. That's an investment. So you want AP for your investment you're looking long term, not short term. Oh, let me make the money back in 1 year time. Because we've seen that as well, right? Where we go to some properties and the property owner just build the property and they want the amount that they're asking for the rent. Most people will not rent for that at this point in time, but they, in their mind, I want to make back this money right now.
Yeah, that's true. We see a lot of that when we go, especially on house tours for, people who have luxury property. They may have spent like $5-10 million on the property, and they want to make it back within 2-3 years time. Yeah. And it's very difficult to monetize those properties because the rent price that you're asking for is too much outside of the market, or it's in the market, but it's not at the quality of what others are offering, for that price. Right. So, but a lot of people, based on what based on the subject area that we're talking about, because there's a whole lot of things to discuss when it comes to properties, and we can spend hours talking. And someone want to take this time to shout out to Biamo Group Limited.
That's
if you're
right.
thinking of buying a plot of land in the Gambia, visit www.biamogroup.com. Yeah, when it comes to buying lands, we don't recommend any other company but Biamo Group Limited. That's the company that we personally helped to create. So yeah, we're going to promote it. It's like that. Yeah. Yeah. And for anybody who wants to discuss any ways to monetize their assets in the Gambia, reach out to us, queenjodiandap@gmail.com for consultations. We are open for business.
That's right.
So yeah, monetizing, like, housing our residential premises. Like, I don't know, my brains.
Overall
properties.
Yeah, monetizing your real estate assets.
Yes, when it comes to like properties. Yeah. The one thing that I see that is making people leave money on the table is they're not factoring the fact that, okay, you're borrowing loans to build this facility, and you have a certain time to pay it back. Yeah. And some persons borrow money not necessarily here in the Gambia. They borrow those money overseas. Yeah. And so what happens is that you have to pay those people back that money in pound sterling or euro or USD, right? And the exchange rate on those money is higher than what is in the Gambia, for example. So even if you're making money on the property in the Gambia, the collection that the bank is going to take from you is going to be more than what you're making from the property here. Yeah. So in that case, where you just like having a plan for your investment in properties is extremely good, because then you can see if I borrow, let's say, 100,000 euro, and my goal is to build a 17-unit apartment, for example, 17-unit apartment. I have to calculate how much that those units will make me within a specific time that I can pay or cover my debts with the bank wherever. Or maybe I'm doing a job. Can my job help me to pay the bank while my property is coming up? Yeah, yeah. That's why rental prices in the Gambia somehow is expensive. Yeah. Because most property owners, they have loans that they have to pay back. Or
maybe some of them don't even have loans, but they just feel like they need to make back the money that they spend in a faster time.
I feel
most
it's
times
most alone,
is because of the loans.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm suggesting this to people like from the diaspora who want to basically monetize properties in the Gambia. And this one is for free from AP for free. If you want to learn how to use it, like really get it off the ground, reach out. We can talk to you guys. Reach out to us. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
queenjodiandap@gmail.com. Anyways, create a union, like a diasporan union. For example, the Gambian Diasporan Union. And Gambian Diasporan Union is going to be focusing on pooling money together to build these properties, to buy these assets, and to turn them into businesses that can generate revenue. Okay? That's just the overview. It can go deeper than that.
Yeah.
But it will then reduce the borrowing that you have to borrow from the banks.
That is true.
And the loans and all of these things that you're going to stress yourself. Because if you have let's say you have 2,000 people, and 2,000 people come in at 5,000 euro, that's a lot of money there. You can build a lot of buildings with that.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can generate money from that, and then basically, minimize the risk of loan sharks coming for you hard.
All right, so Epi, what I'm getting from our discussion thus far, like points, is that one, proper planning is not being done. That's why money is being left on the table.
That's why money is being left on the
table.
And
two, persons trying to invest in things by themselves. They're trying to do it alone. Like, you want to build this big 6-bedroom unit or 6-unit apartment or 20-unit apartment all by yourself.
Yeah.
And so the pressure is on you. As you said, the risk is on you with all of that.
That is true.
Also, what I'm seeing is proper management as well. Because yes, you may have your plan as a diasporan, and your plan might be a good plan, but you don't have proper executors here to get the job done for you the right way, so that your asset can make money for you, and you see your return the way you want.
So basically now, the way forward, from what we've seen, guys, if you're watching up to this far, thank you for watching. What we've seen is that if you have a property and you want to make the most out of it, the best way to do it is to make sure from the beginning that you design it for income. It's better. Even if you want a luxury house, that is fine. For yourself, that is fine. But let's say instead of you buy a small piece of land, let's say you buy a bigger size land, you have your luxury family house, but you also have a section there that is for rental purposes, because you don't know what is happening. The world is changing. Things are changing,
True.
Access to things is getting reduced based on population growth and system changes and stuff like that. So you might have access to these things now. But in the coming years, all of that is going to change. So for those of you who have properties that are, you don't know how to monetize them, now is the time when you need geniuses like us.
That's right.
That can come in and say, okay, you have this here. That is good. We can tell you how to make money from that. This is good. This is how you can do it. We love doing these things. This is what we do. This is how we started in real estate in the Gambia. If you don't know, we came here with $500. We jump into affiliate marketing, working with a young real estate company here that had a lot of asset when it comes to lands. And we just showed them how they could reach into the diasporan market in order to sell lands to them. And then we decided that we're going to create something that we know everything about, the processes, the systems, studying it. Because when we do that now, then we can offer more value to people.
Right.
And that's why we did that. And so we know what we're talking about when it comes to monetizing these type of assets. How many houses have we toured thus far? Like, we toured a lot.
Multiple. Some of them we haven't even put up like physical. We didn't do a physical video on them.
That's true.
But for the most part, since we started, we've been here. Since we've been here, we've been touring properties.
Yeah, like 2020.
2020. Since we've been here, 2020.
We've been doing it a while.
We've been touring. And we would have wanted to do more tours, but at the time when we sat down and analyzed, it wasn't beneficial to us. Yes, we did get persons calling in, hey, I want a rental property. I want to stay in a rent property. I want to rent my house, those things. But there was still something lacking, that we felt that it wouldn't be of value for us right now to sit with that.
That's true.
So at this point in time, as you guys can see, we are doing the we're doing the Queen Jody and AP Uncensored podcast. So yeah, we're talking the things them about real estate here in the Gambia, about property, about people losing people lose a lot of their investments here.
Yeah, they do, because of the way that they invest.
Yeah,
it's very bad somehow.
Some houses like you can't monitor. Okay, if we should even go back to that AP, there was one house in particular that we went to.
Okay, tell me about it.
I think it was around a 6 to 8 bedroom as well. The turn off for me with that property was when we entered. Remember, when you have an entrance to a house, the entrance is like the welcoming area for you to enter the premises, into the house, right? So if you should just open the entry door and smack a big staircases in front of you, it's like telling you, hey, I don't want to be here. I don't want you to be here.
Yeah, it's like a close off.
It was a big turn off, and I couldn't see how we could monetize that property. It was even kind of odd for us to go and tour it. We did do a tour, I think, but
no, we did shots. We did a short video.
Yeah, but we couldn't tour it the way we wanted to because it wasn't welcoming.
Yeah, and the property owner wanted lots of money for that one.
Yeah,
lots.
Yeah.
But that's what we're talking about, guys, when we say you're leaving money on the table. If you have assets like that here, when you design your assets that is limited like that, you're leaving money on the table. Because that space for that staircase could have been used for something else, even though the premises is big. Could have been used for something else. And I'm sure there are more properties like that that are designed for luxury of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 person. You have to understand the geography of where you are. The Gambia is a place like this. Like Gambia is powered by tourism mostly. It's powered by tourism. So people come here, like right now we're in the tourist season at the time of filming this video and this episode. And so they're looking for properties that they can stay, right? And so they want privacy, which is why I said, even though those properties that we spoke of before, they are nice. But the fact that I have to walk through one door
to access the bedroom, because I would have to share the living room, share the kitchen. Else,
it kind of just make things awkward for me. I wouldn't, to be
especially
honest,
if you're a private person, you don't want people in your space.
I'm very
like
private,
that.
Sir.
Yeah,
I'm very private.
I know.
So it's like how I wouldn't stay there because of that. So you're losing money.
Me, I would have to. If to be honest with you, if I was to rent a room in a guest house,
they call it room and parlor,
or in a house for that matter, I'd have to consider myself being at a hotel.
Yeah, but you know what the difference between hotel and these properties that we're seeing? Hotel have more space.
That's true, because in a hotel you might have your own little seating area. You have it's almost like a kitchenette that you have in the hotel.
No, that's not what I mean. The hotel, like a hotel, based on what I know hotel to be, it's more open. So if you even go up like a staircase, there's room 1 here, room 2 there. So it's still private. But when you go inside these facilities, you go inside, and then if I come out my room accidentally one day, it's like, I
forgot to put on your towel.
So,
I understand.
I want privacy.
Yeah, I understand.
I want privacy when it comes to my stay. So it's like that, guys. So we hope that you got some value from this video about how the diasporans, or how diaspora communities leaving money on the table when it comes to properties in the Gambia. Stop doing that. If you're designing anything, if you're a developer and you're going to design, I'm sure you're going to design your premises or your property like an aqua view, which is very nice, by the way.
Those developers really did a good job with aqua view. the tour that we've done there was amazing.
Yeah, that Aquaview tour was nice there.
At one point, I was like, AP, we should really try and get one of these places here.
And the prices on them were not that expensive.
No, it wasn't bad, to be honest.
$2.5 million at the time.
Around that.
But now they're sold out.
There are quite a few, like waterfront. I see waterfront being advertised as well.
They have properties there?
No, not Aquaview. The another apartments. It's like, yeah, they have...
But waterfront is in front Aquaview, sir.
No, man, there's another waterfront that is being built right now.
Okay.
It's like people like Sarah, the avatar that we discussed earlier.
Yeah, the person that you created.
Don't have experience in developing properties. They're not a property developer or they're not a real estate guru, but they just want to do something in their country because they're making a small change or they have the access to funding where they can, put some money up. And they know that, to be honest, people need spaces to live.
So they just go into it like that.
So in their head, people want place to live. If me just build like some container type, build like some container like shop vibe place and just rent it out. It's not a problem.
Yeah, which too much container shops there.
I need to see some nice shops now. But
that's going to be a conversation for another video, guys, to be quite honest with you. But the solution forward for anyone watching that is having asset like, a property that you want to monetize and not leave money on the table.
Yeah.
What would be your advice for them?
What would be my advice? All right. First of all, I would say before you purchase any land or any house for that matter, think about what it is that you would like to do. You understand? Because not because you can afford to do something means you do it.
That's correct.
Right? But think about it. Okay, if I'm going to build, am I building a house to go and live for myself and my family? Or am I going to build so that I can make some revenue additionally?
That's true.
And if that's the case, if you're going to build a family home, I still would advise that you build with the intention in mind that later on down the line, probably 10, 20 years, 30 years from now, you can still monetize that property. Because the truth is, all of us not going to live long periods of time, and our kids we have kids are gonna go 20 by the time some of them turn 18 they want to leave the house. You understand?
That's true.
Well, in Africa I'm seeing like 20, 30 year olds still living at their homes. But for me, when I was 18, 19, I wanted to go out explore, but I didn't have the opportunity, so I'm still have to hold my backside one place until me could I leave
on
my own. But still,
yeah.
Epi.
No, for me, I would say think about the future when it comes to doing property, when you're designing like a home.
Yeah.
Building in these times, building a home it's fine. If you have the money to do it and you're not going to owe anybody and you're going to live a stress-free life, then build a home. As Dave Ramsey said, if you guys know Dave Ramsey, if you're going to buy anything or do anything and you cannot do it 10, 20 times, then don't do it. If you're going to buy a home, and when you buy the home, like a house for you, you're going to hold the bank. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I wouldn't advise that.
If you're going to buy a home or a house or a complex that you're going to rent out, stay in one of the room and make money passively. Then do that.
Yeah.
Because from that, you can refinance and then take out another property, correct?
Yeah.
And then make money from both properties and still have the ability to stay at either one of them.
Right.
You understand what I mean? And then you do it till you build your home, because then now you have several ways that you're making money from other properties, maybe other business from the money you generated. So it's that kind of plan that you have to have. Instead of taking the last 100K that you borrow, or if you have 100K, you borrow 100K, 200K, and then go buy a house to live. That's you're going to be broke.
That is true. So and my advice, because
you're giving double advice there.
No, what happened is AP. Yes, these people when they do make their plans and stuff like that, the reality is if you don't have proper executors and managers in place, your investments
is going to be at risk.
Go to the dogs.
It's going to be at risk.
You understand?
That is correct. I agree with
that. So I implore our people here improve yourself. Improve yourself.
Yeah, well, you know what? Even if you don't know, there are people who know. So, network.
Yeah.
Yeah, network. Reach out to us, queenjodiandap@gmail.com. Guys, we want to thank you so much for tuning into our Queen Jodi and AP Uncensored podcast. Yeah. This is not like the regular kind of podcast that we do, because we have so much more to share for with you guys.
Exactly.
So make sure you stay. We only did this episode because we're seeing where a lot of people are really wasting their money in the Gambia when it comes to properties. Some people are building massive structures and cannot find the money to finish it. Yeah. And so we're like, you know what, let's just drop some value for people like those who are watching us, because those are the people that we really, really, really want to reach.
Yeah.
That when it comes to development of this country and you're putting money in it, it's going in the right way.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So make sure you stick and stay for another episode of the Queen Jodi and AP Uncensored podcast. If you guys are loving this one, please do us a favor and like this video now. Share it with someone that you believe will find value in it.
And stop leave money on the table.
Don't leave no money on it. Yes. Let's just do this. Do this. You understand? Until the next episode, guys. Thank you for watching.